Today we're going to be talking about wind erosion. So wind erosion is going to occur in areas where it's pretty dry outside, that or the beach. So we're talking about desert areas and beach areas. So when wind blows, it's going to blow the sediments that are on the ground and carry them with it. So there are a couple of ways it can carry it. The first one I'd like to talk about is saltation. And saltation is when you have bouncing of sand grains, which are too large to be carried by the wind. They bounce from one place to another. So if you look, you've got one sand grain and then it bounces over here. And they're bouncing and rolling across the ground. And that's saltation. The only other way you could carry sediment would be in suspension. Suspension would be if it's carried up into the wind and held up there for long periods of time. But when this sand or when any other sediment is being carried either by saltation, bouncing it, or suspension, carrying it and holding it, it's going to hit objects. And that's called abrasion. Abrasion is the rubbing of an object by wind-blown sediments. So these are my wind-blown sediments. They're coming in, they're hitting the rock, and they're eroding it and shaping it into different shapes. And that's called a ventifact, which is a rock that's shaped by this abrasion of sand rubbing against the rock or wind-blown sediments rubbing against the rock. The next thing I'd like to talk to you about is deflation. So if I look at my deflation picture here, I have sediment, and it's nice and orange for desert-like sediment, and it's on top of some broken up pieces of rock. So this would be my C horizon right here, and this is my bedrock, and these would be my A, B horizons on the top. Well, with deflation, the wind's going to blow away these top layers. So my A and B horizons get blown away by the wind, and what's left is my C horizon completely exposed. And that's called desert pavement, when you get down to the rocks that are broken up of the C horizon, and they're left behind, and all of that sand is carried somewhere else. So that would be deflation. The last thing I'd like to talk to you about is loess. And loess is a suspension-carried wind-blown sediment. It's usually silt, which is nice and small. It can be carried for long distances. And it's great for farming. It's blown all over the middle of the United States. And that's part of the reason our middle of the United States region is known for its farming and its fertility.